What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today I'm going to be doing the World Dio stand, or Zawardo, depending on what pronunciation you like. So tricky to find sort of a normal pose online for this stand. So you know, there's always fists out and contoured in weird ways, weird poses, like in the JoJo anime. So I managed to get one that's kind of normal. It's kind of, he's one arm going back this way, so you can just kind of see his shoulder, but it's pretty close up on his face, and it's a good place to start anyway. So we'll start with that helmet that he's got, right? That's going around his eyes. So I think the best way to do this is with this line that goes right down from his nose to the middle of his forehead. So it's like a straight line. So it starts about here, ends about there. So we're about just above, a little bit above halfway of our page, and it starts here, and we're going to go down. Depending on how big you want to do his face, this will dictate how big you want to go. So mine's just there's some scale, I guess. A little bit shorter than my marker. Right, so then this comes right up to the edge of his helmet then. So it's going to go curve. So it's going to curve, start to curve out this way. And then this side is going to curve up off this way as well. Both sides, so it kind of looks like a letter Y or the bottom of a wine glass or something. So then this is going to keep going all the way up, right up to the top of my page, just up there. So that's how big I'm doing his head. So it's going to go up like so, traveling up this direction. And it gets slightly straighter as we go up. So you see it's real curvy here, and then it goes a bit straighter off up this way. And then you pretty much do the same thing over here. So we're going up. All the way up to the corner right up here. Like so. So a real big Y shape. Then we're going to join these across the top. So we're going to go, let's say we'll start on this side. So we'll bring this down this direction. And you're just going to go down slightly in the middle, over, like so, and then up the other end a little bit, and out to here. So closing off that big top. Now, so if we go back down here, we can do the bit that goes around the underneath of his eyes and then join it back to the top, right? So just back down here, we have a V just for where his nose is. Just here, like an arrow pointing down. And then this is going to go up this direction, and it's going to curve slightly here around his cheek. So his eye's in here. And this is the same on this side. So this is going to go off this way. And maybe curve a little bit just here. Don't worry if they're not exactly the same. They're not exactly the same in the picture I'm drawing from. They're slightly different. So, and then this is going to travel up the whole way up, like so. So we're kind of in line with this top part. Kind of sticks out a little bit at the top. So it comes down like so. Same over here. So just from the top, we're going to bring it down. Or you could go from the bottom up, so it doesn't really matter. All the way down like so. So really big tall helmet he's got on his head. Then in there we have his eyes. So in here, so we'll start just on this side. So we'll do the top eyelid. So we have a curved line just here, like so. And this sort of curves up around here, like that. So it's a real curvy line. Then the bottom eyelid just under there, curving around, like so. And I'm just going to give a shadow on this side. Make it a bit darker. Give it a bit of character. Thicker line. And you're going to make this thicker down here too. Just add a shadow down here. Then we have his iris. Semicircle just in here. Coming up like so. And there's pupil just in there. Then there's little sort of details just around the eye, just like a line coming off here. Sort of like scratches that are, because his helmet is metal, I think. Not sure actually. So you can just thicken up some of these. Adding some lines. And then this line will travel up a bit more up the side of his helmet. So just dots and dashes kind of traveling up like this. Little lines like so. And maybe some scratches and stuff down here. You can do as much of that kind of stuff as you'd like. Maybe I'll come back in a minute when I have the other eye done and do a bit more of that in the helmet, more detail. So the other eye curving up just like this one. Doesn't have to be exactly the same, remember. If you look closely at people's eyes, they're one slightly bigger than the other. So don't worry too much if it's not perfect. Comes up like so. So this one sticks up at the end, goes around like that. So it's a bit, maybe this one's a bit curvier, this one's a bit straighter. That's okay. And this kind of comes up this way as well. And then the bottom eyelid just underneath here, like so. And you can make those edges a bit darker, add some shadow. Remember guys, if I go too fast, just hit pause. And I would suggest a pencil at first and go over with marker after. Especially if you're drawing this for the first time. Right, so then in there, we have an iris, pupil, black dot. Make this one a bit bigger, so I'll make this one bigger. And then he has some of those little scratches and stuff. I'm going to add a good few of those now, maybe coming around here, coming up on this side. There's kind of a rim to the bottom of his helmet. There's like an extra line coming down here. Coming along. I guess it just gives it sort of that metallic edge look. Then a little bit over here too. A light line, they can join together. They could be one line, or sort of, it's nice sometimes to leave gaps between some of those lines. It gives us some character. And there's like a little shadow coming down the side of his nose here. Some hatching lines coming, scratch lines coming down in here. Coming up maybe the side of this helmet. Maybe there's a line just here, just for the side of the helmet there. Alright, so his face, so his jaw, comes down from the mask just here. So we have a line that comes down like so. Same on the other side, down like this. Then these come down and in to about there. This one comes down to about here, and these will meet that love heart. But just to make it easier, we'll keep going. We'll go down to the bottom, the pointy part of the love heart. It's probably a bit easier to do it this way. And then we do the bumps for the top of the love heart here, kind of like a letter M in there. And then you do another one like that, and then just some hatching, sort of like so. Then just in here we have his mouth, so we have big lips, big JoJo style lips. So we have one bump, the middle here comes up and down. So it kind of looks like, you know, if you were drawing a bird flying in the sky, you know, sort of two wings that way. And then we just have a line coming down from his mask just for his top lip, line for his top lip here. And then this is darker, so we're just going to add some hatching lines, vertical lines up and down. Like so. And then the bottom lip just here, like this, maybe with some hatching lines on the bottom of it. Then we have just two lines here just for his jaw as well, inside his cheek, sort of. Two lines coming down here, like so. And you can of course add some more detail lines on that if you wanted. Of course, it's not 100% necessary to add these. They just make the drawing a bit more interesting. And a lot more detail on JoJo style characters than most animes. Well, I say most, but a lot anyway. Right, so then we have, right, so we have his, those sort of, I don't know what they are, but they're like those things that come down the front of his body. There's the cover his shoulders, and then he has those tubes that come out from the back of his head. So I guess I'll do the tubes first. So we have one that comes out just from here, and it's going to bump all around. So you're just adding these bumps, and we bring it back into his head just here. And then the inner part is just here, bumpy sort of line. And then that has curved lines all inside. And you could add some hatching if you wanted, but not 100% necessary. There's just a line, a darker line that runs down the center, and it's hatched in the picture that I can see, so it's just these little tiny little hairy lines coming down like so, and then more on the edge here. And because his body is turned away in the picture I'm drawn from, so his arm is going off this way. He's kind of leaning towards us. This shoulder is closer, so we can barely see this tube on this side. So it's just here. It's much smaller, like that. That's all you can really see. It kind of looks like it's an ear or something. And then they have those curved lines as well, like that. So then he has this thing that comes down his body, right? So he has, the easiest way is just a curved line. It's going to come from the edge of his mask, first. This is going to travel down, curving this way, curving around his face, and down to about here on the bottom of my page. Like so. And then this is all bumps all over it. So it travels up around his head. So it goes all the way around his head, around his back, I'd say. So, and this bumps down this way. And it has all these bumps on it all the way down. So we have one bump here. This one bumps down to here. And it's done in segments. So we have the first segment just here. And then the next segment comes down into here. Curves around, goes up behind his head. Next segment just here. Like this. Next one. Like this. Curving around. This one will go just off my page there. Next one here. Comes around up to there. And then they get sort of smaller as we go down. Down to the bottom of my page. And then we're going to give these just an edge. So they have a little edge to them, just coming down from his tube just here. This is done with hatching lines. You could draw a straight line if you wanted, but it just comes down like so. And it follows this shape, this curve the whole way down. So much straighter now. So it's really curvy up here, and then much straighter as we go down his body now. So, and then he has another line of these on this side, so just up here. So small little lines coming down all this. And then he has various scratch marks and cracks sort of on the metal coming down here, like so. You can do these any way you want. I'm pretty much kind of making it up as I go. Just these little scratch marks. And then a couple of extra lines just on the edge here of these parts, just sort of dips in them, or metal edges just to them, curving around the bottoms, and some various sort of hatching and shading, scratches, like so. This is totally optional, of course. You could just color. If you wanted, of course. Right, so then the other layer of these guys is just over here. So it goes just down beside his face. So say beside his jaw, here we have one bump like that. Next bump, down off the page, and then this goes around his shoulder and off my page back here. So that goes off that way. And then comes back that way. And we have these lines going across, so we'll go across like so, off the page, double line, another one go across, another one comes back, go across, come back, go across this way, another one underneath, like so, and maybe this one's just a bit smaller, like so, and then it has similar lines like that on it too. Doing another layer a little bit over this side, he curves in and stops on, let's see, where does it stop? It stops about here, so it's curving out and down. And then some scratch marks, hatching lines coming up here, crack line just there. Crack line kind of here, some more hatching and stuff coming up from these sections. Okay, so chest muscles just here, so coming down from his chin, we're going to draw a line curving down for his chest just there. Then we have a line for his top of his chest muscle just coming up in here, second layer of that just there. Bottom of his chest is down here, down around like so. I can't see the bottom of it, but if you had room you could add as much as you like, really. And then this curves down like so. And then we have top of his chest coming out from the bottom of this love heart here, coming up that way. And then another line just here for the top of it. And of course, if you wanted in JoJo style, you could add more hatching lines. As much of that as you'd like. There's a lot of shadow in here done with hatching, but I might do that at the end. I'll just get the rest drawn. So hatching all in here. Hatching. And then we can see just his trapezius muscles and shoulder muscles just in here. So we have curve line there, neckline there, another sort of neckline in here, beside his jaw. His trapezius, just there, maybe another line in here. And then his back, you can see just his back starting just there, with a line there. This has sort of hatch lines similar to this on it. Something like that. And then, so his shoulder starts just here. So we have a curved line like so, and then another for the opposite side just there. This has kind of a muscle line or something here. Some hatching and stuff on it like that. Then his arm goes up off my page just this way. It's kind of like his armpit going that way. And then the back of his arm, so his arm is off up this way, so the back goes off that way, but off my page. And he has like a silver section, a grey silver section. It's curving just here with a line that just goes up around like that. And another one maybe that way. And then this has a darker sort of curved section that goes around just all there. So that's his arm going all the way off back there, and it's kind of clenched in a fist down here, but I couldn't fit it in. And then you can add as much sort of JoJo style hatching as you want. So like shadow in here. You know, like more on the top of his chest. Just here. This side too. You know, some on maybe the side of his face just here. Coming down here too. Some on his neck. Of course, you could keep doing that as much as you wanted, but that is the idea. Thanks for watching, guys. Warudo. I'll see you in the next video.